Good morning, tribe. So today, Friday, we are going to do a little look into the eclipse energies that's coming up. And for those of you who don't know, eclipse season is generally in the summer, but it's starting April 30th. There is an eclipse in Taurus, and then I believe May 16th there is an eclipse in Scorpio, and then there's one more that I was supposed to look up before I got on here, but I didn't. So we're just going to look at the eclipse energy at large, okay? For those of you who don't know, today is the last day to purchase your tickets to tomorrow's webinar with JJ on shadow work. We're going to be talking about integrating the shadow, about navigating it, and it's a perfect time to be doing that, honestly, because the eclipse season does tend to bring up the shadow. For those of you who've been on the journey consciously for more than a year, or who have been through eclipse seasons before, you already know the deal. It gets easier with time as we face ourselves, as we face the shadow, as we integrate it, as we accept. It does get easier, it does get better, and less intense. But it's still an intense period, okay? Especially if you're not used to navigating the energy, especially if it's your first time navigating the energy, right? Again, in the webinar, we will be discussing how to navigate the shadow. We will be giving you our tips to doing that. It's a two-part webinar. The second one will be on manifestation. Again, the reason why we did the shadow work webinar first is because to become a rapid manifestor, to use the laws, you do kind of have to either have a healthy self-concept, which is, self-belief. You have to work through those subconscious blocks telling you that you can't do things, or that you can't accomplish things, or the limitations that we tend to put on ourselves through the mind. And so with that, we are going to touch on self-love and how important self-concept is through the law of assumption, the law of attraction, and both of the or not both, all the modalities that JJ and I use or have used through the years to navigate our shadow, to integrate it, to accept it, etc. Okay, so if you're interested in that, you don't have to attend in person. That we will be recording. If you buy the 2222 add-on reading, we will do the reading live without you there if you can't attend, and we will send the recorded reading to everyone, so you will be able to go back and listen to it as you navigate this eclipse season, and as you navigate your shadow work. Okay, so for those of you interested, it is linked in my bio. We're really excited for everyone who's already purchased. We like to keep these groups intimate, so you guys can come with your questions, come with the shadow work that's been coming up for you, come with your triggers, okay? So that we can, mentor you through the process and answer the questions. Of course, you don't have to speak, and like I said, you don't have to be there. We will make sure that it's a complete webinar and that you get all the information you need. But yeah, so if you're interested, or if this reading resonates, or if you resonate with JJ and I, it's going to be a great webinar, and it's going to cover a lot of different topics. Okay, you can again see all that information in the link in my bio. So eclipse season, what do we have here? I haven't even turned over the cards, but I just want to address what I'd like to call the theme energy, which is the bottom of the deck. We have success and the Knight of Cups, and what I think is really interesting about this in particular is, this eclipse in Taurus is next Saturday, right? And some of us, we've already been feeling the effects of the eclipse, the intensities, the triggers, etc. The shadow work coming up. For some, it may be related to work, to our success, to our masculine energy. Again, on this channel, it is gender fluid. Masculine and feminine does not refer to a gender, it refers to the energy. Masculine energy goes towards what we desire. Feminine energy is our connection to spirit, is the way we yield into things, is our flow state, right? So here we have the Knight of Cups and this success energy, right? Sacral Chakra energy here as well. I am someone who's done a lot of shadow work with the Sacral Chakra. I have a lot of placements in the 8th house in Scorpio, and so the Sacral Chakra is something that I've worked through. It does have to do with sexual trauma, although I haven't had that in this life. It has to do with our past relationships. It has to do with our ability to manifest and to create life, right? Create life, create projects, create the lives that we want, right? So again, I'm getting with this eclipse in Taurus, it does have to do with work. Maybe shadow has been coming up in terms of work. Maybe you're not liking what you're doing. You're not feeling motivated. You're not feeling inspired. And so, Spirit is asking you to look at, with this Knight of Cups, what what do you love to do? What lights your heart on fire? What makes you feel good while you're doing it? What makes you feel inspired? Because that's where the true success lies. You know, we can have a job that makes us a lot of money, but eventually it becomes mundane, and you know, you become uninspired if you don't like what you're doing. Money isn't enough. Okay, it's important to go after the things that we desire, and I feel like with this eclipse in Taurus, we will be looking at that a little deeper. Okay, what is success? Is it feeling good every day when we wake up? Is it waking up and feeling good about what we're doing and who we are in the world? Or is it about money or some material possession? Okay, because if it is, it will be coming up to be seen. By the way, this is a shadow work deck. Anna bought it for me and she gifted it to me. Thank you, Anna. So sweet. This is the High Priestess. Look at this card. Smoke all around. She's got, you know, the blanket or the gown pulled over her head. So this is a major arcana. It says it's clarified by the universe card. You are not alone. Ask for help. So again, for those of you who need assistance navigating the shadow or not navigating the eclipse season, Spirit is saying go within, okay? Or seek out mentors that, you know about these topics and that can help you or can give you tips as to how to navigate the experience. For others of you, I feel like whatever shadow work you're doing in this eclipse season is going to be uncovering or tapping into, activating, etc., certain gifts in your psyche. Okay, you're going to be reminded that you are connected to everyone, and that sometimes the things we experience aren't even ours, they're collective, especially when we are shadow workers, right? So it's important to pay attention to that. The eclipse season also brings up things that are hidden, okay? And the High Priestess is about hidden knowledge, okay? But again, it's hidden knowledge. It's about what you can learn about yourself in the process and about the collective at large and how you're influenced by those energies as well. And how all of us doing our shadow work together in eclipse season helps us as a collective to rise and to tap into those gifts, to tap into our true inspiration, right? So in the action position, we have the Magician. Wow, lots of major arcana. Again, the eclipse energies are really big energy. And that makes sense with this major arcana. The Magician here is turned around. You see he has all the tools at his disposal. And this is clarified by healing, shadow work, inner child work. Yes, we do see both inner child work and shadow work come up. Or it's kind of like one and the same in some cases if your shadow work involves your parents or involves family dynamics of sorts. We are seeing a healing of that, okay? And I feel like with the Magician, it's an intentional healing, right? The Magician has the tools at his disposal, his or her disposal, and he uses it, right? He uses it to wield the energy, okay? So use this eclipse energy, use the shadow that's coming up, use whatever has been hidden that's coming up to the surface as a way to clear the debris, to heal some of these wounds. Again, inner child wounds, we all have them. Inner child wounds could be something as simple as being left at daycare at a young age and feeling abandoned by and harboring that feeling of abandonment. We all have some kind of abandonment wound if we had working parents, okay? Most of us anyways. Or if a parent left us, a parent wasn't present, or even wasn't emotionally present for us, this can cause abandonment wounds as well. Okay, so again, we are, and this gives me the shadow work webinar vibe so much. You know, me and JJ are intuitives, and we set up this 2-part webinar for a reason. This is about getting through the shadow, tapping into that hidden knowledge in eclipse season in order to be able to heal the way, heal the way we connect to spirit, but equally heal our ability to manifest, okay? And like digging deep in that shadow work and that inner child work. Let's see what the outcome energy is here. We have the Fool. My gosh, all major arcana. Wow. I did shuffle this deck. But yeah, so we have the Fool. You see the Fool here is walking away from something. Again, in this deck, this is a shadow, a darker deck meant to dive into the shadow of the tarot. So here with the Fool, yes, a lot of times being in this 0 point feels like the void. It feels dark. We're not really sure. So again, this eclipse season will have us navigating out of our own darkness through the shadow work, right? And you see the Fool here getting up from the chair and moving out of the darkness, out of the void into, a new cycle, a new energy, a new beginning. And this is clarified by perspective, the bigger picture. Exactly. So most of the time, the things that we're navigating just require us to take a step back and look at it from a higher perspective. Okay. And that's what, is being said here about the energy in eclipse season. Okay. We're going to be uncovering hidden knowledge. We're going to be tapping into our abilities and working through any blocks that we may have because of shadow work and inner child work that may have blocked our ability to manifest in the past. And we're coming out of this void, this darkness energy, into more aligned, heart-centered, higher perspective view of the energy and of ourselves, frankly, because that's where it all starts. Manifestation starts with self-concept, right? So some crystals to help us navigate this energy. We have hematite. I'm not surprised. Super dark, super grounding stone. Hematite helps us, again, navigate the shadow, helps us to stay grounded. It's important to be connected to spirit in this eclipse season, but equally grounded. So take the time to go outside or wear your hematite. Again, hematite is a strong stone, so I would counter it with like a rose quartz or something. Don't wear it alone because it does feel heavy, and it does tend to purge some of the shadow as well, but it also helps you ground. Okay, we have Hittite, gratitude, and this actually reminds me of green flora a little bit. So again, the heart chakra, when we're doing this inner work, when we're doing the shadow work, when we're doing the inner child work, the heart chakra is activated, does purge. It's from there that we can align to our true essence, to what makes us feel good, to what makes us feel inspired. And so, you know, doing heart chakra work during eclipse season is essential. 11:11 on the clock there. It's important to be grateful even for the struggle sometimes, the challenges, the contrast, because again, it helps us to better understand ourselves, better understand our blocks, and equally to work through them, right? So stay grateful, stay grounded in this eclipse season, and stay creative. Okay, so again, this is kind of like that energy that was on the bottom of the deck. This is fire agate. I don't never know how to say that word. Someone's gonna have to tell me. But again, so being creative. I say this all the time. Whenever I've been through the hardest cycles on my spiritual journey, what kept me going was my light work, was naughty alchemy, was turning my pain into power by using my experience and sharing it with others, and by using that as inspiration to be better within, but also to help others also navigate some of these blocks that I also had to deal with after cycles and cycles. I've done eclipse seasons, shadow work for now, I think it's almost 5 years. It was really hard in the beginning. Sometimes it's still triggering. It depends on the transits and how they affect your chart and your signs and stuff. And also whether you've faced yourself until this point or not, or whether you're just starting to dig under the surface. Okay, that also helps. But again, if things get a bit dark, a bit intense, stay grounded, stay grateful, you guys, and stay creative. Find creative ways to transmute the energy into inspiration, into, you know, being around the people you love, being around yourself, giving yourself the time you need, but equally creating something great from that, okay? Whatever that is for you. It could be a poem, it could be music, it could be the spiritual work, it could be art, it could be so many things. Whatever you do to be creative is yours, and there's so many ways to do that. You can even be creative at work, okay? So yeah, so that is what I have for you guys. I hope that this reading resonated. Again, if you're interested in looking at what shadow work is coming up for you as of late, right now in this moment, our webinar is tomorrow. You don't have to attend. It is going to be recorded, and the links will be sent to everybody after, so you can go back to it as needed. Again, that is linked in my bio, the Shadow Worker JJ. Sending you guys so much love always. I hope that this helps. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, following. Again, I'm so grateful to all of you for being here with me and supporting my work through all these years. It means everything. Okay, have a great Friday, you guys. Take care.